All right, everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the Jordan Report, and I am your host, Robert Jordan. Everyone, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Okay, guys, Houston is suffering from a terrible crime wave. I just did a story on a police helicopter being shot down by an illegal alien less than a week ago. But anyway, they're having a crime wave because the judges are releasing these crazy people onto the street, dangerous people onto the street, because of the corona pandemic. Now, here's another one of these vicious killings. This is an 80-year-old lady killed by this dude here. Now, I'm going to go through the story, and then I'm going to show you their police chief talking. Because Acevedo, to me, is partly responsible for this. He's one of these open borders police chiefs. He's been the police chief for several cities down here in Texas. And he's known for his open borders policies. So a lot of the stuff he's responsible for. But I do agree with him with what he says at his press conference. When he's talking about these judges releasing these dangerous people onto the population. But anyway, here's this lady here, the 80-year-old grandmother murdered by a career criminal released on bond. This was May the 19th. This happened last week. An 80-year-old woman described as a grandmother by a family was stabbed and killed by a lifelong criminal on Saturday in Houston. 30-year-old Randy Lewis, who has been arrested dozens of times in his life, may have been released from a mental facility as a part of the coronavirus jailbreak. Rosalie Cook was attacked by Lewis walking to her car after shopping at a Houston Walgreens. A responding officer arrived at the scene found Lewis looting through Cook's car, and when he was attacked by Lewis, in turn shot him twice, fatally. Lewis has been arrested 67 times throughout his life. Lewis has been arrested 67 times throughout his life. Court records indicate that he was set free on a waiver bond April the 30th, having been detained at a mental health facility at the order of a judge pending the resolution of his case. It's very possible, considering the timing of his release from custody, that the career criminal was released from the facility through a coronavirus jailbreak. County jails nationwide have released a third of their inmates on account of the pandemic, and in some cases more. Now, I'm going to show you the police chief, Acevedo, talking. Now, he's talking about these judges and this case here where this poor lady was killed. And he's blaming it on the judges, rightfully so. And you're gonna have a hard time listening to it. The volume is screwed up. It's not my fault.
We need to pray. We're fortunate that we are led by a mayor and a council that believe in the power of prayer, but like we were talking to a bunch of people across the street, there's spiritual warfare going on, and not just here, but across the world, and this is just crazy. We've got to pray for this city and pray for this nation and pray for this world, because you just can't make sense of this. A woman has lost her life because some guy decided he wanted whatever she had on her, and to think that a guy stabbed a little old lady, I can't tell you the emotions I'm feeling right now. And I want to say that my condolences go out to that woman and her family once we get to identify them. They'll be in my thoughts and my prayers tonight, as will be our officer. With that, I'm going to go ahead and open it up to any questions. Then I'll move to Spanish afterwards.
Chief, what discussions did you have with the people across the street? It seemed like there were a lot of people who kind of gathered after.
These people are neighborhood people. This is a great neighborhood around here, and they wanted to know what happened. And I'm going to tell my community, we all work, every single one of us here, media, officers, investors, we all work for the community. And I told them what we knew, because I think that, again, it's important to talk to our community. A lot of those people there want to know when the Walgreens would open back up as well. They're regulars. And then they asked me how the little old lady was doing, and I told them the truth, that she had just passed away. And obviously there was a lot of sadness over there as well. Any other questions in English?
Chief, you talked about your officer feeling very shaken up. You guys have had several incidents like this.
Yeah.
Have you had any discussions with your officers about what's going on?
With this officer?
I'm sorry. Because of the number of recent fatal officers?
Yeah, look, what we do is that we try to select, train, and retrain the very best people that we can possibly find in our community. Like I said yesterday at headquarters, I'm proud of the fact that in this very diverse melting pot that we love called Houston, this department is a homegrown department that is reflective of this community. And I can just tell you that our officers, when they see something like this, it hurts them. It hurts them because we believe who we know this person is, and it's because an officer that works this beat thinks they know who it is. And that's the spirit of community policing. We're not an occupying army. We are homegrown. We're from the community, and many of us live in the community and in the region. So it just makes our officers sad and obviously worried when you see things like this happening. Any other questions?
Is there some sort of trend or something going on in the community that there's been so many officer involved shootings?
Well, I mean, I want you to look at our men and women don't get to choose and pick what they go to. A man with a gun on Scott Street that you all heard, again, our community calling us because there's a guy with a gun on Scott Street. A man with a knife at the Fiesta going after our community. We're responding to our community. But let me just say this. We've had nearly a 50% increase in murders in this city this year. That's not cops, 50% increase. 100 and something people have been murdered in our city in some very violent crimes. And for those that want to focus just on officer-involved shootings, I say you need to start focusing on what's going on in our city. Over 100 people have been murdered in our city. I don't remember the exact number as of today. Do we have a number? What's our murder? Huh?
20.
As of yesterday or right now?
25.
So that's 125 murders with this little old lady. And so where's the outrage for that? Where's the outrage when we are chasing the same crooks out here? Where's the outrage? Where's the outrage when our cops are putting their lives on the line, arresting the same person time and again who's got a violent history? So don't come and talk to me about officer-involved shootings when nobody's putting the mic in the hands of the judges that keep letting these crooks out time and again. Where's the outrage? Why is it it's the police chief and the police department that's talking about these judges? And you know what they want me to do? They want me to go away. Well, I got news for them. I'm not going away. And they're not going to shut me up. And we will start putting out when a guy on 8 felony bonds is out carjacking people. Where's the outrage? Where? I'll tell you where. Directed at the wrong things. We've got to pay attention because people are dying. And I'm not worried about numbers. I look at each individual case as to what was it justified or not. And we will continue to do our very best. But it's just, the violence is creeping up. The violence is creeping up and being committed by people that are in and out of jail, right? In one door, out the other. And guess what? Sooner or later, guess what? That violence is not just going to impact these officers, it's going to impact the community. There should be some outrage. I know I am. Yes, sir.
Chief, to that point, do you know did this suspect have any criminal history? Was he out on a bus?
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Okay, I was just asking.
But I don't need to focus on this. I can focus on the reality of what's going on in our city, in our county. Where I have county officials telling me to shut up and stop talking about what's going on in the court. I got news for them. I'm not going to shut up. You see, they're not calling and pointing the fingers at them. They're calling and pointing the fingers at Mayor Turner and the police chief. And believe me when I say, we're ready to start putting out the information. Suspect, crime, history, bonding history, and the judges and the decisions they're making, and we'll let the public decide who's right and who's wrong. Okay?
All right, guys. Now, that's what's going on in Houston. And like I said, I finally agree with Acevedo on something. Something has to be done here. This is terrible.